This is the Star Wars The Black Series in the new Black Series packaging, Black Series 4.0. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader. Oh my goodness, this is figure number 1. And I believe all the series, the movie series for the new Black Series will start with number 1. So it's not going to be an entire series of figures with just one number 1 and everybody else just follows. So if you just want to collect one particular set of figures, you can do so. You don't have to worry about completing the entire numbered set, which is a big relief for me, actually. I thought I'd have to get every single figure in this new wave of Black Series figures. I picked up this figure from Our Toys. One thing you will note on this packaging, it does feel a little bit smaller because the original packaging was this big, and now they sliced off a portion just to have this angled portion of the box for the artwork. And they've returned or brought back the window on the top of the box so that the figure is illuminated when it's displayed on the shelf. And here is the new Darth Vader figure out of packaging, and this figure is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. This figure is probably the best Darth Vader Hasbro has ever come up with. I think this is the last Darth Vader you're ever going to pick up. Probably the only reason you're going to want to pick up another Darth Vader is if they re-release this figure and gave him an alternate head that has a removable helmet that showed off his scarred head, scarred face. That's probably the only reason you're going to get another Darth Vader. But if you haven't picked up a Darth Vader in the Black Series line, this is the one you want to look out for. Forget the others. This figure is just showing off the details of this new figure. This head sculpt, absolutely immaculate. The cape is one piece that's on a loop. I tried to see if it was going to tear up or anything like that. There's like a hole right there. Just be wary of that. This part right here is a little bit thinner than the other, so just make sure you don't rip that off. It stays underneath the helmet quite nicely and snug, but you might want to adjust it once in a while because it could get caught in the joints right there. I think it's a remolded lightsaber. I could be wrong. We'll do some size comparisons later and comparisons with other Darth Vader figures, but this lightsaber hilt, absolutely amazing. Lightsaber blade, I wish it could be a little bit more brighter or more transparent, or yeah, more translucent, I should say. I don't know about the length. Maybe half a centimeter longer or a centimeter longer would have been nice, but I'm pretty sure Hasbro has got this correct. Got some more soft goods right here on his vest, on the waist cape. We got fantastic detailing on his armor. Nice clicky clacky buttons right here on his belt. His legs, the texture on his legs. The boots, wow. Look how much detail that is. I love the shiny gloss they put on this. Same with the gloves, helmet. Here's a look at the back. Even the fabric, I think there's a higher thread count in this fabric, if I'm not mistaken. Articulation for this figure, double ball jointed neck. He's got a ball jointed upper torso. He's got a ball hinge shoulder and those butterfly joints that we've been seeing for most of the Black Series figures. Still no bicep swivel and double jointed elbows. He still has this ball hinge elbow, but it's more of a 100-degree bend. Ball hinge wrists that go in and out. This one I would have wished it would have gone up and down, but that's fine. Ball jointed hips go this much. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Ball hinge ankles. with the rocker pivot. And now for some size comparisons. Here he is with the blue line Darth Vader, and here he is with the red line number 43 Darth Vader. And between the two figures, this figure most closely resembles or gets a lot of its parts mainly from this figure. Let's talk about the lightsabers first. It's obviously way bigger than the original Blue Series Blue Line lightsaber. The Blue Line lightsaber was just too tiny. I mean, even the hilt was small, the blade was small. Now the Redline lightsaber, if you look closely, the new lightsaber has a bigger part. The top part of the hilt is much bigger than the original Redline lightsaber. There's fewer grooves and notches on the silver part compared to the older version. The trigger, or the switch, feels a little bit bigger on this one. And then the handle with the guards, the grips, this one, the original one, the older one is just a little bit bigger than the new one. So it's a completely new mold. The length is relatively the same, but the original one feels a little bit bigger than the new one. New one's a little bit thinner when you compare it. I knew it. I knew that the blade was a little bit shorter. It should have been a little bit longer by half a centimeter, or maybe even a full centimeter. I wouldn't have minded that, but it's a little shorter than the original Redline blade. And if you remove it, still use that thick peg to connect the blade to the hilt. Now let's look at the head sculpts. Obviously, based on what you're seeing right here, this is a brand new head sculpt. The helmet just falls down a little bit longer below the jawline compared to the previous one, which is a little bit wider and just a few millimeters above the jawline. This one is just way too small. The helmet is just too small, forehead's too big. They've also remolded the top part. I think this is a little bit more bulbous than this one. The face, I'm guessing it's a different mold. Here's a closer look at both head sculpts. I think this is a different mold. This one, the breathing apparatus, where the mouth and the nose are, feels a little bit bigger than this one. Just be an illusion, but it's not, I don't think it is. I think they've remolded every bit about this head sculpt, because it just feels much bigger than this one. Even the neck, yep, definitely a new one. That triangle is much bigger than that one. The chest armor, definitely different. They've also remolded the control panel on his mechanism, on the abdomen armor mechanism. I don't know if they just changed it over time, because this is episode 5 and this is supposed to be Rogue One. So it might have undergone changes, the costume department. So Hasbro is merely reflecting the changes in the action figure. Belt seems to be the same, but different. The crotch piece, again, very similar. Kind of feels it's different. I don't know. Maybe it's just the illusion caused by the paint apps. But the belt and the crotch piece look very, very similar. The shoulder pads, the silver is really creating an illusion that it's different. Bicep look different. Gloves, definitely different. The other arm, yep, different. The legs are very similar. I think they recycled the legs. Could have recycled it. Yep. I think the legs they recycled, repurposed, as well as the hips. Just gave it a shinier finish than this one. This one's a lot more glossier than the Redline. As for the fabric that they used, I don't know if it's just wear and tear on this figure, but this one really feels much thicker than this one, just by a bit. They both feel good. Even the color. This one has a bit of a bluish feel of the way, the kind of black dye that they use. This one is, it's just really black compared to this one. This one has a hint of blue. I don't know if you can see it through the camera. Even the inner tunic, the same. Same differences in color and dye and tint of black. I like this one better. I don't know why. It just looks more like how Darth Vader looked like in the movie. Color-wise of the cape, tunic, the mask, everything about him. Not to say that the Rogue One figure was an excellent figure. I mean, it was a very good figure. But I believe this new Darth Vader, I think, is the best out of all the three. And so some final thoughts on this figure. If you didn't already figure it out, I think this is the best Darth Vader figure we've ever had from Hasbro. It is absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. If you have to pick up just one figure from this new wave of Black Series figures, let it be this new Darth Vader figure. And as I've shown you with the other Darth Vader figures, I think we can totally agree that this is a brand new mold. And if there's anything that Hasbro could have done to make this thing better, if I'm going to nitpick, I think it would have been a interchangeable head or a removable helmet to show off the battle damaged Anakin Skywalker head sculpt. Maybe a little bit longer, just a half centimeter longer lightsaber blade, and maybe a wrist joint for the right arm that went up and down instead of in and out. Other than that, I think the figure is absolutely perfect. It is going to get my legendary rating of 11 out of 10. Quite an amazing job. Kudos to the Hasbro design team for this Black Series Darth Vader figure. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this figure. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it something you're going to hunt down for, just pre-order, or just wait to go on clearance? Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.